Well, that's one way to begin your Christmas morning. 90s B-movie poster designs. You gotta love them. This poster belongs to the 1997 cult classic Jack Frost. No, not the one with Michael Keaton, this Jack Frost. Their plots do strangely share the whole being resurrected as a snowman storyline, although this one did come out first and is way less wholesome. Jack Frost is probably most well known for its hammy acting, schlocky B-movie effects, and strange plot. But then again, I could be being too harsh. Is our titular character really as frosty as his name suggests? Let's find out. Without further ado, on with the review.
One selection box god. I'm the selection box god. All these other boys fraud. They just eat the one bar, but I eat them all. I'm the selection box god.
So, the movie opens with the credits being presented through decorations on a Christmas tree. This is accompanied by an unusual voiceover in which a girl asks her very British Uncle Henry to tell her a happy, scary bedtime story.
Yeah, little bits of people started turning up in Mrs. Puddle's pecan pies all over the Midwest. Fingertips, eyelids, earlobes.
1, I don't think that story's appropriate for an alleged little kid, and 2, something tells me that that's not actually a little kid. Anyways, some officers are driving our titular serial killer, Jack Frost, to his place of execution at midnight through a blizzard. Jack Frost is played by American actor Scott MacDonald, and he kills the guard watching him by snapping his neck with his foot. Not really sure how he got near him. If he was that much of a liability, shouldn't he have more restraints? Not only that, but our dopey police officers drive their van into a genetic research lorry with an even dopier driver. Jack seems royally pleased about this, and we see a very bizarrely edited crash segment. After falling from the back of the police van, Jack tries to escape, but chemicals from the research vehicle spill onto him and he dissolves into the snow. While showing the film's budget, the practical effects here do actually look quite impressive. The CGI, not so much. Sheriff Sam Tyler, his wife Anne, and their son Ryan are driving home after a skiing trip, when Sam has some flashbacks to his arrest of Jack Frost, an experience that is weirdly cheesy in that quintessential 90s way.
That's right, Sheriff. You take that. Look at this face.
Just as the flashback scene ends, they pass by the site of Jack's supposed death and hear about it on the radio the following morning. Ryan makes his dad some odd porridge slop, and while he means well, I don't think I could stomach even pretending to like it. Sam goes to visit the town's snowman building competition, some not so subtle foreshadowing. And we also get a look at some characters that will definitely not be significant to the story to some degree. To his horror, when Sam goes to work, he is immediately sent to a murder scene. The receptionist, Marla, is played by Marsha Clark, who also voiced the little girl during the intro segment. This poor fellow, Old Man Harper, has been frozen to death, with no sign of a break-in, no footprints, vehicle tracks, or blood. Talk about mysterious. Surely this has nothing to do with the evil-looking snowman featured on the poster. Meanwhile, Anne finds a snowman in front of the house, and assuming Ryan built it, she gives him a carrot to give the snowman a nose. I'm not sure if this makes Jack Frost more alive or something. Ryan is caught off guard by a stock 90s bully character, Billy, who lops off Jack's head. As revenge, Jack knocks Billy over, and one of his friend's sleds decapitates him in this shoddy cutaway effect. Naturally, Ryan is blamed.
Do you believe that? It couldn't have been a fight. Billy is 2 feet taller than Ryan.
Not anymore, you ain't.
That night, Jack murders Billy's short-tempered father, Jake, when he tries to defend himself with an axe. Jack shoves the axe down Jake's throat, handle first. You know, as one does. Jack then appears in the house behind Jake's wife, Sally, and strangles her with Christmas lights before turning her into a makeshift Christmas tree ornament thing. Yes, it's one of those holiday horror films. The fake snow here does look pretty good though. Sam's friend Paul, played by character actor F. William Parker, walks in on the scene, lending some credence to Ryan's rendition of Billy's murder. When he returns to work, Sam finds FBI agents Manners and Stone in Marla's place, and they barge their way onto the case. Somehow, I think that Mulder and Scully may be more useful here. Sam and the agents discover a footprint left by Jack, and their highly contrived forensic device tells them that the family's killer was able to melt themselves, enter the house through the doggy door, and refreeze once inside the house. Manners and Stone then convince Sam to put the town on a 24-hour curfew, and refuse to tell him what the hell is going on. Typical. When Paul is punched out by Manners for blabbering about a killer snowman, Sam sends Deputy Sheriff Chris out to Paul's house to figure out what happened, which can't end well. There's a killer on the loose and you're sending officers out on their own? As he drives up to Paul's house, Jack distracts Chris by holding up a stop sign. He then sneaks into Paul's police car and runs him over in a quick cutaway kill. Next, we hear sirens outside of the Tyler family home, and there appears to be a leak. Not good. Just as Anne leaves with another deputy, Billy's older sister Jill appears with her boyfriend Tommy. In what seems to be a nod to Halloween, they sneak into the house for some amorous congress, let's say. Jill is played by Shannon Elizabeth, who is probably best known for her role as Buffy in Scary Movie. Also, isn't Jill supposed to be grieving right now? While she dries her hair upstairs and Tommy attempts to set the mood, someone pelts a snowball through the window. Assuming Sam is back and thinks he's a burglar, Tommy gets scared and tries to defend himself with kitchen utensils. That doesn't really work out, and Jack Frost impales Tommy through the head with a projectile icicle. Not hearing the commotion downstairs over the hairdryer, Jack lures Jill into the bath. The ensuing scene is disturbing and controversial. Without going into graphic details, Jill meets a tragic end at the hands of the murderous snowman. Jack shows up to the police station in Chris's car, and Sam frees Paul from his cell before Jack can get to him through melting. After escaping the station through a window, the group attempts to blow Jack up. This doesn't work though, and Jack puts himself back together.
I'm a Picasso!
Agent Stone reveals himself to be a member of the genetic research company whose chemicals started this whole mess. He goes on to state that his goal was to create an acid to contain human DNA in case of a nuclear holocaust, and that Jack Frost's current state proves that the soul is in fact a chemical. Now, I've seen some wacky plots play out, but that's the biggest bunch of baloney that I've ever seen. Jack turns into a boulder like in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, and our heroes attempt to kill Jack by blow-drying him into the town hall's boiler. There's still around 15 minutes left of this film, so it can't be over yet. When everyone else leaves, Jack recombobulates again, and bites off Agent Manners' face before literally entering Agent Stone. Jack, as Stone, hobbles out of the hall with a goiter before vomiting Jack out. You can spot the hose behind him! The snow beast attacks Sam and Ryan, and to protect his hand, the sheriff punches Jack with his bag of porridge from earlier. To his surprise, Jack cries out in pain and begins to melt by force, exposing blood and other anatomical features. Innocently trying to stop his father from getting cold, Ryan had put antifreeze in that porridge. I bet he's glad he didn't eat it now. Acting as bait, there's a struggle between Jack and Sam, where Jack actually manages to wound Sam. Just as his guard is down, Sam pushes Jack through a window and into the back of a truck full of antifreeze. When Jack's disembodied arm attacks Ryan, Sam performs a makeshift antifreeze baptism on his son. Shouldn't that antifreeze be burning them too? It's definitely blinding at least. The remaining townspeople collect the antifreeze in containers and bury it, but just as the state police arrive, we get a shot of it bubbling underground. Sequel, anyone? So, what did I think of Jack Frost after my rewatch for this review? It's certainly a cheap-looking film, that's for sure. While a low budget can often result in a charming aesthetic, it certainly didn't do Jack Frost any favours in my eyes. The practical effects, while often goofy-looking, were definitely one of the film's strongest points, and that one CGI shot of Jack on a molecular level did make me laugh. This movie definitely gives off mid-90s Chucky ripoff vibes from a mile away. The first killing looks like an accident, Ryan is blamed for it, and they try to kill Jack via fire, which obviously doesn't work. It's all there, and don't get me started on the dodgy one-liners.
I can see your house from up here!
The general consensus about Jack Frost doesn't appear to be too favourable either. For example, it holds a shocking audience score of 31% on Rotten Tomatoes at the time of this video, along with a critic score of 16%. Despite this, Jack Frost did in fact get a sequel, released in 2000 under the title Jack Frost 2: Revenge of the Mutant Killer Snowman. Very creative, and yes, the poster is just as ugly as its predecessors. All in all, I think Jack Frost probably won't be going on my rewatch list for the long term. It lacks any fear factor for me, although that could be due to the fact that I'm a hardened veteran of the horror genre. Its somewhat intentionally unfunny attempts at humour just fall flat instead of coming across as self-aware, resulting in a horror comedy film without horror or comedy. A tragedy, really. Well, that's all for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.
I'm the selection box god. All these other boys fraud. They just eat the one bar, but I eat them all. I'm the selection box god. All these other boys fraud. They just eat the one bar, but I eat them all. I'm the selection box god. All these other boys fraud. They just eat the one bar.